Okay. This is where I'm going to be camping for the night. I'm going to take all my gear, hike way up this road, which is closed now, and then I'll set up camp next to the river, hopefully. Got the sled packed up. It's time to head all the way up that way. I got a ways to go. See if we can't push that thing. Grab my pole out. Oh, not quite. Come on, buddy. There we go. Certified weed free. Well, guess I won't be smoking. Look at this. Not really sure what kind of tracks those are. These ones are a little more defined, but hoping it's just a dog or a coyote. This is camp for the night. It's a nice flat spot. Got the river right over here. Getting down was a little tricky. I had to bring the toboggan down through this and navigate, but I was able to make it work. Part of my backyard view for the night. I'm still winded. I'm not sure how far I hiked in, but it's a long ways away from where I parked. And it was mostly uphill, so. But I'm gonna go ahead and get camp set up and cook some dinner, and then kind of just explore after that maybe. Well, that's the progress I've made so far. Kind of dug out an area that's a little flatter where I can sleep. So hopefully I can squeeze the tent kind of over here and next to this area so I can get a nice flat sleep tonight. So I didn't bring any drinking water, so I'm gonna go fill up my cup over here at this small spring and then boil it, and that should be good for water. Here we go. And we'll just dip that right in there. It's not much, but it's close by. And I can come back for more. You can honestly probably drink this water. Usually those small Idaho streams, the water is, I mean, it's crystal clear, but when you're out here, you know, way back in the middle of nowhere in the wintertime, Last thing you need is diarrhea. I'll get this thing on the jet boil as soon as I get back. And the cool thing is, let's see, where am I at? Over here. So the cool thing is about boiling water to make it safe, once you get it to a boil, it's safe. You don't have to let it boil for 5 minutes. You can just get it right to a boil, take it off, cool it off, start drinking it. It'll be totally fine. That's where I'm camped, right down there. Now let's try to get down this without slipping and spilling all my water. I actually almost made it all the way down without tripping, and I got tripped up right on this stupid thing and lost a little bit of water, but I think I'm all right. There we go. We got a boil going, so we can turn off the heat, let that water cool off. Well, that's home for tonight. Unfortunately, when I dug out that spot to sleep on, I didn't realize, this is where I dug it out, that the spot where the chimney goes is actually going to be right there. So looks like I'll have to dig out a spot over here, but it's really not too uneven, so I might not even have to. Well, some unfortunate news. I cannot find the wood stove with the chimney, and I know that I packed it because I set it a certain way on top of the toboggan. So the only conclusion I have is that at some point while walking all the way from the truck to where I'm at now, it fell somewhere. It's getting dark outside, so I'm going to make this entire walk there and back so I can find this stove. I searched all over camp just to make sure that way I didn't walk all the way over there or all the way back to the truck for no reason. So life happens. It's a little frustrating, but we'll find it. Pretty sure I can see it, and it was only like a minute or two back towards the truck, but right up here you can kind of see it. Yep, that's it. Oh my gosh, I lost that and my sleeping bag. All right, just got back. That was absolutely lucky that I found this thing not too far from where I was, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know how far I was from the truck, but it was not close. And luckily my stuff, the two things that were going to keep me warm at night, I happened to lose. So Glad I found those. All right, it's all set up. I'll get my sleeping bag here in just a second, but got the chimney in there, the stove's in there. I'll light a fire later tonight and we'll stay nice and warm. Cook up some dinner too. All right, it's nighttime and I figure now would be a good time to eat. So I'm going to get a little fire started in my solo stove, and then I've got the cast iron skillet, and then I got a steak. And I've just got one of these fire starters, picked it up from Walmart. Having a hard time getting this thing lit. What is going on here? That's not good. Okay, let me get my backup plan. There we go. Look at that. Worked out great. Survival 101. Bring a mini torch with you. So literally, I keep hearing like noises off in the distance back there. I'm pretty sure it's just snow like falling off of the tree branches, but man, I'd be lying if I said it's not scaring the crap out of me right now. So the air is so thin up here in the mountains that my fire's having a hard time really picking up some steam, so kind of just waiting patiently here. All right, so I've got a couple of wood blocks on the side, and I'm thinking I can just put my pan just like that. Keeps the oxygen flowing, and then I can get my steak cooking. Time to throw that thing on there. Oh yeah. That smells so good. It's starting to get really cold out here too. I think it's supposed to get down to like 8 or 9 degrees outside, which isn't horrible, but it's definitely cold, you know? All right, I'm gonna flip this thing over. Whoa. I don't know if I can get in close. It's a little charred, but not bad. All right, I'd say this thing's probably overcooked, but whoa. Beggars really can't be choosers when you're out here in the woods. All right, there it is. Let's give it a try. It's definitely a little bit overdone. It's overdone. Which I mean, it's well done, but it is good. You obviously can't get, you know, the perfect steak out here in the woods, but hey, this is incredible food right here. Grab some of that water that we boiled earlier and give it a try. It's nice and cool now. Okay. It tastes like moss, which I mean, I guess would make sense. I pull it out of a creek, but It's water, it's been boiled, so. But yeah, that was really bad tasting. I don't know if it's the metal. Oh, it's water though. I think I'm probably gonna get inside the tent here. It's getting really cold. My solo stove fire is burned out, and I'm going to attempt to light a fire in this stove. Yeah, I'll explain what I mean by that here in a second. All right, so this is kind of what I meant when I was saying I'd give this thing a try. The chimney here is not seated very well. So I'm afraid that what's gonna happen is I'll get a good fire going, but I'm afraid that it's just going to get really smoky in here, which would obviously be bad. So, and in any other case, you have to be pretty careful about using these things in small confined spaces, because you can get carbon monoxide poisoning. So you definitely want to be careful when you're using these things. So here's what I've got. I'll just throw this in there. It's rated for indoor and outdoor, and hopefully it lasts a while. Hoping it doesn't get too smoky in here. I mean, I can always leave a vent open, but you know, I still don't want smoke all over inside the tent. So just throw this in there real quick. We'll get it lit with the old trusty torch here. All right, here we go. Don't tell me we're out. Oh my gosh. We're out. All right. Well, I guess I'll go try the lighter. This was supposed to be the backup plan. Now the lighter's become the backup plan after it failed earlier today. All right, here's the lighter. Let's see if we can't get this thing to work. Come on. Oh, oh, there we go. Okay. Well, let's try that again. There we go. Man, I don't know why it didn't work earlier. Okay. The outside's supposed to be flammable, so we'll see how long that thing lasts. It looks like it's picking up, though. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if you can see it very well, but I had actually had 3 eggs, and I had put them, kind of just tucked them in. Oh, look at that. I'd kind of just tucked them in my sleeping bag because I figured it'd keep them from getting frozen, but it'd also be soft. And one of them broke. So there's part of it right there. And now it's all over my sleeping bag. I've got egg all over, raw egg all over my sleeping bag. There's a shell. So, I mean, it's all over. So don't do what I did, because that was clearly a stupid thing to do, which was putting an egg in the sleeping bag. Anyways, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm gonna sleep with raw egg all over me, but should still be warm. So, well, I'm actually pretty impressed. There is no smoke in here, and this thing is really putting off some heat. I do have the tent open just a little bit to help with ventilation, but so far this thing is really heating up the tent real nice.
All right, well, I slept okay last night. Wasn't too bad. A little uncomfortable on the ground, but the fire kept me warm. I did throw a couple more logs in there, probably like 4 a.m. and got this thing heated back up, then went back to bed and slept for a few more hours, and yeah, all in all, I slept all right. Let's get out of here and make some breakfast.
It's time for a little breakfast, so I'm gonna grab my pan and I'm just gonna stick it on top of the fire stove, let that heat up, and then once that's hot enough, cook up some sausage. It's looking like it's getting hot enough there. Oh yeah. Hear that? Faux shizzle, the sizzle. I'm feeling like big backing it today. Let's throw on 6. All right, those are looking like they're almost done, so I'm gonna crack in an egg real quick. Just kind of throw it, oh crap. Get out of there. There we go. Boy, those eggs are sure giving me an issue on this trip, I've gotta tell you. In fact, let me cook up this egg real quick, and then I'll explain why there was an egg in my sleeping bag last night. I know I kind of talked about it last night, but I feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I went that route. Okay. Well, I know the eggs don't look extremely appetizing because of that color, but I'm sure they're gonna taste just fine. Nothing beats a hot breakfast in the morning when you're out camping in the cold. So yesterday, with the egg, I packed all my stuff into the toboggan, and I had 3 eggs. And I needed to put them somewhere inside the toboggan where they wouldn't get like crushed. So I figured I'll put them in just the opening of my sleeping bag, because it was packed up into the sack. So I throw the eggs in there, and I was like, I'll just remember later on to pull them out. Yeah, I figured that'd be like a nice soft place for them to be transported all the way down from the truck over to here. But yeah, I forgot that the eggs were in there. Only one of them broke, but yeah, it was all over my sleeping bag last night. There's shells everywhere. It was a total wreck, but you live and you learn, I guess. Let's try some of that egg. The surviving egg. Tastes like egg. All right. Good breakfast. Okay, check this out. So yesterday, when I was hiking along this area with my toboggan, I came up this morning, and look at this. Those are fresh because they're on top of my toboggan tracks. Doesn't look like a very large animal at all, but probably like a fox is kind of what I'm thinking, or maybe a coyote, something like that, but still pretty cool. So close to where I'm at too. Well, I brought the fishing rod. I don't know how good fishing is going to be up here. The river's pretty shallow, but got it. So I'm gonna hike down here, right up kind of in here. There's some slower moving, looks like kind of deeper water, so I'll hike down there and give it a shot. All right, so I'm halfway down, but I wanted to show you something. If you look at the terrain here, it's just barely covered by snow. And that's because we are still in an ongoing drought situation here in Idaho. And it's the 3rd week of February. And we still don't have very much snow. Typically, by this time of the year, this would all be under about 4 feet of snow by now. So we have gotten some snow, which is good. And you know, the conditions have improved over the last couple weeks compared to where we were like middle of January. But man, this is really, really concerning. Dang though. This little place down here would have made a nice spot to camp. I should have hiked a little farther and probably a 1/4 mile up the trail from where I camped last night. Well, look at this. Super flat spot. Looks like at some point someone built a fire pit right here. And then you have really close proximity to the river. But this is where I'm going to fish. This is cool. So there's all sorts of animal tracks over here. And there's a natural bridge on this fallen log. I'm not going on it, but still pretty cool. You can kind of, you guys can't see it, but there's right up in here in the snow is, you can see a couple animal tracks where they tried going up that. That's crazy though. They either came down or they went across, I don't know. But super, super beautiful out here. One of the reasons why I love doing this. All right, I'm gonna get fishing. The setup's nothing crazy. It's just a worm hook with a night crawl on it, and then I'll probably have a bobber, maybe about 1 foot up to 2 feet above the worm. And I'm just gonna toss it in where it's deep and just let it float downstream. I'll probably only fish for 10-15 minutes, only because I don't know if there's gonna be any hot action down here, but it's worth trying at least. All right, well, fished for about 15-20 minutes. Didn't get anything, didn't really expect to get anything, so I'm just gonna head back now. Look at this. It's kind of a cool looking rock. I'm not a rock expert, so I have no idea what that is, but it's kind of cool looking. Heading over to that little creek to get some water. I'm just gonna drink it straight out. I don't really want to boil it and wait for it to cool off. I'm going home today, so if I get diarrhea, shouldn't affect me till later on, hopefully. Here we are. Let's give it a taste, see if it's as bad as yesterday. It's good. No, that tastes just fine. I wonder if when you cook it, or boil it, it does something to it. I don't know, but it tastes fine. Oh, wow. I am getting a brain freeze though. Ow. So the plan is to get packed up and then hike back to the truck from here. And then about 2 or 3 miles back up the road that I came in on, there's a natural hot spring. But it can sometimes be a little crowded. So I'm hoping that with it being midday that there's nobody there. And if there's not, then I'll go down, we'll soak in it, take you down there with me. But if there are people there, I'll probably just end the video here. I don't really like to go to the hot springs with other people. They tend to get like just a little rowdy and they're always blasting their music. So that's the plan from here. All right, camp is all packed up. I got everything in the toboggan. Just got to get back up here and back down the road to the truck. Just tried going up that way and it sucks. So I'm gonna try going up this way. See if that's a little bit easier. Yeah, this is a lot better. Just gotta get under this thing now. We did it. So I tracked it this time and just under 2 miles is how far that was. So not too far, but definitely a good workout. So I'm gonna pack this stuff up and drive down to the hot spring and let's just pray and cross our fingers that nobody's there. I've been waiting to drink this all morning. I've had some water, but I've been really thirsty. Yeah. All right. Let's go see about those hot springs. All right, here's the verdict. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but several cars over there at the hot spring. So I'm gonna head home, but it was a good trip and I will see you guys on the next one.